Most people think business success comes from better products or better ads, better tech. But here's the truth. The people who win in business are the ones who know how to communicate. Not louder, not flashier, just clearer, sharper, and more human. Today, I'll show you how to talk so that people instantly trust your brand, even if you're quiet, introverted, or new to the space. Hey, I'm Sam, and I help creators and professionals build brands that actually resonate without using hype, hacks, or fake energy. At this point, we've created over 15 billion views for our clients, from brands, personal creators, and even little-known people like the Liver King. See, this is the kind of video that I wish I had when I was trying to build my brand originally, grow my audience, and actually get taken seriously. Because you can have the best offer in the world, but if you don't know how to communicate it, you lose. So let's change that. In business, your tone matters more than your product. Most people sell with pressure, but smart people, they speak like a guide. And here's how. Say this. Here's what I've seen work in brands like yours. Or, most of my clients run into this problem early on. Not this. You should. Or, that's wrong. Those credibility phrases build trust without sounding preachy. They frame you as experienced, not necessarily opinionated. And trust builds fast. You ever talk to someone who clearly knew what they were doing, and yet they barely raised their voice? That's the zone you want. Great branding starts with a calm presence. In sales calls, Zoom meetings, podcasts, your pause is a power move. In fact, after you've explained your offer or your mission or your pricing, pause. Let it breathe. Don't rush to justify or add filler. See, people need space to process value, so give it to them. Remember, great brands don't pitch. They ask smart questions. If you run a business or create content, here's how to shift that energy. Instead of asking, what are your goals? Try, what's one thing that's holding your brand back right now? Or what's not working about your marketing, and how long's that been true? See, these questions make your audience feel seen, not sold to. And that's brand trust. That's business positioning. If you're a coach, creator, founder, this is key. Don't explain what you do. Tell a story that shows what happens when you do it. The framework here is problem, struggle, shift, result. Let's look at an example. A founder that I worked with felt stuck. Great offer, but zero traction. After we repositioned her brand story, she landed 3 new clients within 2 weeks. It was the same product, but this time with better messaging. Now that's social proof wrapped in story. It's way more powerful than a pitch. Most brands lead with logic, features, numbers, data, but people buy on feelings. They justify it with logic later. So speak to what's behind the problem. You're not just confused about marketing, you're overwhelmed because nothing's working and you feel behind. That kind of copy, that kind of conversation, it converts. Remember, great communicators listen. In business, this means holding space for the buyer, not bulldozing your offer. So on calls, try saying, what's on your mind as I share that? Or do you want feedback or just space to think it out loud? This makes people feel heard and respected. And when someone feels respected, they trust your brand more. Don't just listen to what people say, listen to how they say it. So when a client says, I've tried a bunch of marketing stuff before, you hear, I'm tired, I'm skeptical, and I need something that finally works. Prospects won't always say what they mean, but if you reflect what they feel, that's emotional intelligence, and it will make you unstoppable in branding and in business. So in that instance, try saying, sounds like this has been a pain for a while. Why now? You sound excited about that. Let's double down on that energy. If you want your brand to feel more human, add small playfulness. Not forced humor, just lightness, relatability. Examples of this could be, look, this copy is strong enough to replace your morning coffee. Or, we won't hit you with a countdown timer, just honest value. It disarms people. They lower their guard and they start to like your brand naturally. Now, if you're building a business or personal brand, criticism is coming. Content trolls, haters, doubters. Here's the move. Don't match their energy. Don't defend everything. Just say, appreciate the perspective. Not for you, totally okay. Or just nothing. Silence is a strategy. You protect your energy and your brand stays clean. In instances when you have sales calls coming up, before a sales call or an IG live, podcast interview, whatever, make sure you prepare. Have these in your back pocket. Your origin story, the short version. Your offer, ideally in one sentence, 2 client results that you can call back on, and 3 power phrases. That prep makes you sound sharp without being scripted. Repetition builds brand identity and confidence. In business, fortune's in the follow-up. Use this line after any discovery call, DM, or lead magnet. Was there anything in what I shared that resonated deeply? Do you feel clear on your next step or still weighing options? These aren't just follow-ups, they're conversion checkpoints. Simple, non-pushy, and effective. Here's a nice distinction. Freelancers talk about tasks where brands talk about transformation. So instead of I build websites, say, I help brands go from just a business to a brand that people trust in 8 seconds or less. See, language matters. Your words are your brand. Your tone is the business card. Okay, so let's wrap this together. You don't need to be loud to grow a business. You don't need to be charismatic to build a brand. You just need to communicate clearly, consistently, and with care. So today we covered credibility phrasing, strategic pausing, emotional targeting, story-driven selling, holding space, lightness, and reputation through repetition. Try picking one and use it in your next call, caption, or pitch. Respect isn't given, it's earned. One sentence at a time. See you on the next one.